And welcome to another exciting episode, Victoria.
I know, I feel it real fun for me.
All right.
Whoa. Hello.
All right. Welcome to another exciting episode, Victoria.
I feel it real fun for we on the 13th of October, 2023.
That is right.
And it's your manifesting questions and supply.
You actually
calls it.
You actually called it the right name.
Well,
your manifesting questions answered live.
Just duck forward.
Hey, guess what, Victoria?
What, babe?
Come back and join us.
Yes.
All right. So, Mark Darkery, has joined the show.
He has.
Joe Weldon.
Emmett's
Director
trying.
Joe Weldon. That's right.
Oh,
Emmett is trying to join this show.
Today
We've got a really special show. It's your manifesting questions answered live, in case you just tuned in.
Yes.
Yep, because we're live right now, Simi. That's right.
That's right.
Lisa and LaRock. Now, Victoria.
Yes.
So you continue to tell them all the good shit.
So, yes, your manifesting questions answered live. I think it's the right way this time. Go to easymanifestingmethods.com.
Go there, do that, sign up. If you haven't done those little lessons and you're not getting the daily email, you're missing out on a lot. And probably chasing and doing stupid shit. So, if you want to stop doing stupid shit, sizzle, yo!
Yeah, and sizzle. I just thought, oh, that's amazing. I thought of you because right now, Emmett, you would have seen like 1 minute ago Emmett's little head. And all I imagined was, oh, Sizzle would have called that Herman. Because he remembered how
he remembers Herman, right? Right.
And then all of a sudden you're here, and I haven't seen you in eight. No, he's decided to go out of shot, and so have I. No,
that's Emmett and Victoria. Luke, I am your father. Carolyn, welcome to the show.
It's good to see you here, Sizzler. Well, for free funds, visit our YouTube channel, feelitrealfun.com, because I don't know what else to offer you.
Oh, that's all right. Go to NevilleGoddardStore.com.
Never got it store. Yeah,
that's right. That's where you can find us. You can find our email, and you might want to invest in state stacking. Just saying.
StateStacking.com.
And you can go get that at StateStacking.com as well. Yeah. So, Victoria.
Yes.
Shall we dive in with the cool questions today? Because Sizzle says, Adelia says hello.
Oh, hello, Adelia.
Oh, look at that. Joe Weldon is inviting everyone.
Yeah, good on you. Okay, so... Oh, no, sorry. Because what we've been talking about, I thought was furnaces, but it's finances. Right.
Right.
So the first question today is from Monica in Manifesting Mastery. I struggle with finances.
It all depends what your definition of
finances is. Oh, right. is. Monica asks, my struggle, I know the wrong term, is with finances. I am lost with this. I can't feel the life that I want. I can't feel my life in the end. I can see what I want, but I cannot see from my eyes. I'm not sure what day it was, but we were to imagine holding hands and being in that scene. Well, I can't remember the words, but I do remember, I think, the screenshot, the photo that you used with that when we were holding hands, which is gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that was in manifestingmasterycourse.com. Anyway, I felt that, only fleeting, but I do that several times a day. The crux of the matter is that I can't imagine being wealthy, and I know I just push that away, but I need help with this.
All right, so every year we make more money than we previously did.
Yes.
Not bragging, just stating.
Yeah.
And here's what happens when you do that. In Australia, what we have to do is we have to pay quarterly taxes.
Yeah.
We do quarterly tax returns, and we pay quarterly taxes.
Yeah.
And at the end of the year, they say, you each owe us a ton more money.
Yeah.
And so what they do is they say, you've got 6 months to pay us that ton of money. But meanwhile, we're going to raise your next quarterly payments
to this,
right?
Yeah.
So they add a couple grand on, right? And so I just printed out Victoria's today because our accountant refuses to send us things through the mail now, and they send us things through the email.
Yes.
And so I figured out the password, printed the damn thing up, and and here's the thing, ready? So we're used to paying, let's say, X amount of dollars.
Yeah.
And now they want X amount of dollars plus another $2,000 or $3,000 per quarter.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it keeps going up.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing, right? So if I'm imagining, fuck, I'm going to pay this, right? Look, when I look at this thing, it's like this is a problem. Like, see, suggest that what I notice a lot of people do is they engage in financial fantasy. I'm going to go buy what I want when I want with who I want. I'm going to go and I'm going to buy myself a Bimmer on Monday, a Mercedes on Tuesday, and I'm going to give one to my mistress on Wednesday.
And by Friday, it's all being reclaimed.
And either it feels fun or it feels fake or you can't feel it. Or it feels fun at first and then you can't sustain it because it's bullshit. Now, here's the thing. Like, if you got a business, you know what I'm talking about with getting these quarterly tax return kind of things, if you're in a civilized part of the world. Yeah. If you're in Kentucky, you probably don't. But anyway, I appear to digress.
I don't know Kentucky. Sorry, you guys.
Yeah.
It's obviously an inside joke.
Yeah,
yes.
It's a joke inside of me. Right?
Yes.
But there's going to be something. You get the electric bill and it's 20% higher. Ready? I'd rather spend that money on whiskey. Okay, but I'm okay.
Yeah.
You got it? So this is what you get to imagine. This is why I always go back to that whole thing. If you doubled your income and worked half the time, how would you buy peanut butter or petrol differently? I listen to people at the pool. They will drive 10, 20 miles to save 3 to 4 cents a liter.
Yeah.
Right? And I ask them, have you ever thought about like the wear and tear on your car and your time and the risk? And I mean, you're going to the fucking ghetto to buy petrol to save 3 cents a liter. Right?
Looking after your life.
Yeah, and they have a little Kia car, right? So like your Kia car gets a lot of stuff. I got a 6-cylinder BMW. I like to squeal tire, right? But I only drive a few Ks. And on the other side of the coin, when the little orange light comes on, I pull over and get petrol. I've got friends at all the petrol stations because I don't wait. Right? So this is what you get to imagine. What would a real change be in your life if you doubled your income? Play there. I can promise you this does heaps. And compared to the whole thing of like, well, I'm imagining getting back from our 5th trip to France this year. In our private jet. Why go first class? Yeah. It's uggy to me. Right? Take something real in your life now that will be real in your life then and explore how it'll be different. This is like what we call the coffee game, which is gold for this as well. So, cool. Let that give to you. By the way, this other bit. So Neville basically had a little thing where if you saw yourself in a movie, I want to address this because you mentioned it. If you saw yourself, like let's say if I was imagining love, and I could say, hey, there's me and Victoria standing on the beach. That doesn't work. What you wanted feels good. Oh, look at that. That's us standing on a beach. One of the ways that we've solved that riddle is you basically slide right into your body so you're looking out your eyes. So all I can see is her. So I can see my nose.
I love that lesson.
And it's a real powerful one. The thing is, you don't need to master that to manifest anything. What you have to do is change your imaginal experience. Sort of like going from, I had a question to, wow, I got a really cool place to explore. So I've got a bill that I would have panicked about. Now I just sit there and it's like, Right? Mylene, welcome to the show. All right.
Excellent. Good one,
She's not like the rest. Is here too.
Is she?
That's right.
Elizabeth.
That's right.
Cool. So that was for Monica in Manifesting Mastery. Course.com. Thank you very much for your question.
Cool. Stay tuned, Monica. We're going to continue to answer your question and the other questions as well, because that's what we do. Otherwise, I'd get bored.
That's what 20 does.
That's right.
The next question's from Laurie B. in Dream Driven Day.
Oh, no, you didn't say her right. Laurie B. and DDD.
Okay.
See, notice how cool that sounds? Laurie B. I did that so intentionally.
All right.
Laurie B. and DDD.
All right. Philosophy drives technology. Sorry, I'll let you send me a bit more. And Laurie asks, hi, 20 in Victoria. Hiya, Laurie B. and DDD.
Laurie B. and DDD.
Please clarify a bit on what you mean when you say philosophy drives technology. Why technology? What does this or could this mean to me practically?
This is one of those really cool one of those things with language that I love to use.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this is one of those things where it's like when you pull the weeds, you plant some seeds, right? That kind of thing. But you pull the weeds first, right? Otherwise, you don't have any place for the seeds to land. So philosophy drives technology, right? So on a real street level, this machine that I'm staring at right now is my friend finder. Right, so this is where I find friends. It's also my financial thingy do, right? To some people, it's a distraction machine or a porn machine, right? They look at the same thing and it's like, oh, I can go look at kitty photos, right? Yeah, kitty, as in like meow, right? Just to be clear about some things here, kitty photos, right? So your philosophy determines how you use technology, how you think about technology, and that even includes like your body. Like some people, they're so at war with life. It's like standing up is a war, versus you can stand up with a dance. What do you imagine about anything determines how you use everything. So I don't imagine people as broken. Here's a philosophy. Some people imagine people as broken or defective. Hey, there's Frank. He's broken and defective. I'll imagine a fix for him. I'll imagine him like gooder. Right? Yeah. Your philosophy determines even how you use imaginal technology. So my philosophy is pretty simple. As far as I can tell, who you are is caught having the adventure of a lifetime, and you may or may not notice it. I want you to notice it, and I want you to notice from it so you can enjoy life and have a lot of cool shit go on. So this whole philosophy drives technology thing, it's everywhere. It's on so many levels. When you notice...
I really got it for me when I went from full-time employee going to the office every day to being able to... I imagined my philosophy. Imagine I went to the dog park. This whole world opened up for me, and then the technology, well, it was always around, but I didn't realise to be able to remotely work from home. Do you know what I mean?
Totally.
And have all of that in my life as well as work. Do you know what I mean?
Totally.
Instead of having to be at the office 9 to 5. So
you used to have a lovely little car we called Tic Tac. It was a white Toyota.
Just a little Toyota.
Right. It was lovely. And you had that car probably 3 years longer than you would have if you had stayed on the job. Because if you stayed on the job, you would have
broken down on the freeway one
It would have
night,
broken down. You would have worried about it. You would have wanted a better car.
Yeah.
And instead, casually, as time goes on, after working from home, Mal, who did Dream Driven Day a long time ago, he used to be a car dealer. He mentions he got a black Bimmer in. We didn't even talk price. And Victoria says, "Tell him I want it."
Yeah.
And she cleaned it up, shipped it down. It was and it's a fabulous little BMW SUV.
Yeah, it is.
Philosophy drives her technology. So if her philosophy was need to have a job and needs safe transportation, she would have got a new car years ago. Her philosophy now is I just want it.
Yeah.
So the philosophy totally changed.
I think it's lucky. I'm lucky to have driven like 3,000 k's in it.
Oh yeah, exactly. We get it serviced because like it's that time for the yearly service, right?
Yeah.
So she doesn't drive it. Yeah, I mean I barely drive anywhere.
Yeah.
But let us continue.
Okay.
All right. By the way, philosophy drives technology. One more.
Yeah.
Some people use the English language just to assert stuff about the facts and try to feel right by making other people wrong. Right? So
say that again.
You think I can ever say the same thing twice?
Sorry,
Yeah,
okay.
like that's possible.
Assert. Yeah. Okay.
Some people use language to attack.
Yeah.
Right? Here are the facts. Here's how it is. This is how it happened. This is how I am. Right? So they use a technology called words as a weapon. On the other hand, you could use words in some very different ways, declaring something forth and discovering it happen as it happens. So, Sizzle, say that again. You're right, pal.
I know. Cool.
Boom.
All right.
Sweet.
So that was for Laurie B in DDD.
Is
that all right?
Everybody sing it with us. Hashtag Laurie B in DDD.
Thank you very much for your question, Laurie.
Have you noticed that I love rhyme and alliteration?
No.
So there's a reason why I do that, because as somebody that understands human experience, so we can get things.
But we all understand human experience, don't we?
Well, most people don't. I don't think they understand it. They have it, but I don't think they understand it.
Okay.
But you can get things stuck in your head really simple, like
really simple.
Like really simple. Like this whole thing. Like 5 years ago, social distancing wasn't even a concept.
Yeah.
Right? Neither was anti-vax or anti-jab or something like that. Maybe it was. I don't know.
Yeah,
But all
yeah.
these things, they get stuck in your head because they're structured in specific ways. Lori D in
B.
Lori B in DDD.
Yes.
You're going to remember that for a while. Versus it's a Lori B in Dream Driven Day.
Yeah, I know. Got you.
You get it? There's a reason why I structure shit. I'm sneaky. Right? And we talk about this in ManifestingMasteryCourse.com too. You know, how do you play with the jingle to get something stuck in there that tingles? But anyway.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
ManifestingMasteryCourse.com.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
All right. See, Sizzle just said it. He just says the jingle thing in MM. See?
Oh, good on you,
Sizzle says
Sizzler.
it twice. There's the other thing, repetition, right?
Okay.
That's right.
Excellent. Thank you very much for your question, Laurie B and D.
Repetition and conversation invite connection. Just saying, right? Anyway, this showed up on a live call I did this week, 101 thing. But repetition and conversation invite connection.
Yes.
On the other hand, I keep watching more YouTube videos.
Okay.
I keep watching different people. See, I watch people differently, but that's another thing.
Okay.
All right. I have
The
no idea what
next
Mark Docker
question.
just typed about. Phil's Waffle, Flea Jingles, and Tingles Technology. I'm going to ponder that one. While I'm at the pool and Charles is rambling about Trump, I'm going to be
Pondering that. From Mark.
Yeah, thanks, Mark.
Good one.
Hoo-ha.
The next question is from Tony Mack in Remarkable
Remarkable.
Ancestral Imaginations.
Hoo-ha.
And Tony Mack asks, hi, 20 in Victoria.
Yo.
Question. Does Neville address how our ancestors' imaginations may have an effect in our lives today?
I just absolutely adore this question.
This is ace, because this, I reckon,
This is not the dumb question of the day.
No.
No, definitely not the dumb question of the day.
Quote.
No, I put in a quote.
Oh, you put in the quote.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll leave it.
Tony put up the remarkable question,
Okay.
and I put up the remarkable quote.
All right.
So there's that story about Neville going to his dentist, and his dentist saying, your tooth will last 10 years, I believe the number was. Somebody can correct me if I'm, semi-mistaken, which is rarely true, right?
Yes.
So, so Neville's doctor basically said, that tooth will last 10 years. 10 years later, tooth gone, right? Let's read why, Victoria.
So Neville says, if you know who you are and how imagination operates, you will learn to control your imaginal activities. If you do not, they will be controlled for you by another, and you will become their victim.
All right, so I love Mrs. Goddard.
Oh,
Right, yeah, as in Mama Goddard. 15 years, thanks, Joe. So I love Mama Goddard, because Mama Goddard, like when Neville and the boys would act up and do things, and Mama Goddard would say things like, have you forgotten that you're a Goddard?
oh,
And it's like, whoa, that's right, I'm a Goddard. Right?
Yeah,
Like,
nice.
to raise them up a standard, right? Now you get how cool this is, because Neville didn't understand imagination as a little boy, right? But his mom did. Right, so what did she imagine about the kids and about being a Goddard, and what did she implant in them?
Victor's wife, or whatever.
No, this is Joseph's wife.
I mean, okay,
Yeah.
Joseph's
Yeah,
wife.
yeah, Mama Goddard.
Grandma,
Yeah,
yes.
Grandma Goddard. Right?
Okay.
So here's what's really, really cool. If you know who you are and how imagination works, this is why I keep saying what I say. But if you know who you are and how imagination works, okay, basically you're the pilot. If you don't, you're the passenger. And when I listen to people's stories, I've developed a cool little 3-question thing that I do with people. And they'll blame things on their parents, their grandparents, and so on. And guess what? They're right. If you don't know how imagination works, it matters that if you're a Pollock, or if you were born in December, or whatever. I've got people in my ancestry that are Native American, Irish, German. I was born in April 1st. I mean, I've got all kinds of excuses. But this is the cool thing, because what the previous generations for eons back, what they imagined, sort of rolls downhill, doesn't it? What my mom and dad imagined as me for a little boy, I was susceptible to. I was an allergy kid, born 3 months early with scoliosis. I had every excuse in the book to be a cripple in my 20s. That's what the doctor said. I'll use the word. Someone will be offended. Too bad. Right? Because seriously, when you tell a little boy he's going to be crippled in his 20s, right? Yeah, I have every right on the planet to say that because that's what I heard. On the other hand, you're hearing me. Right? At some point, I imagined something differently. I imagined being a karate champion. And everything changed. All these things about me being, the smart weakling kid, sickly, a teenage bedwetter, that all changed. And so I get this is really, really cool because what your parents imagined, what your grandparents imagined, that matters. Even if you don't realize who you are and how this works. But once you do realize who you are and how this works, you can't be a victim. Before that, you're pretty much... the newscaster comes on and says, the economy is slowing down, the interest rates are going up, everyone's going to be homeless. Well, great. There'll be a lot of empty fucking homes. Right? If we're all homeless, right? There's a lot of homes for us to move into.
Just squatting.
Exactly. There's no way they're going to be able to kick everyone out. So
I'm just going to get rid of that fluff.
That's going to make noise.
There you go. No?
All right. All right, you guys let us know. Hashtag Victoria made noise plucking at the microphone. All right, Diane, welcome to the show.
Very cool, Tony Mac. Yeah.
If you want to have some fun, imagine for your ancestors. Here's a good one, because I had this experience years ago with a lady that her assertion was that my relationships with men suck like my mom. I got the same gene, I got the same karma, I got the same philosophy, whatever. And one thing that I told her was, look, revise your mother. Revise what happened to her. While you're imagining lovingly for you, while you're rejecting what the familial karma or imagining is, while you're buying the pearl, imagine lovingly for your mom. Imagine that she didn't have to go through all that shit. So...
yeah, it's fascinating actually, because I remember I got wrapped up before Neville, before you, years ago, about genetics and what we can almost like bring forth in our body,
sure,
in our genes, and I actually think my decision not to have kids was all based around that. I just decided that.
I'm not passing this on.
When I looked at my family and my family's family and so much of what I saw out there and was thinking also, like, because of family, like, there was so much hurt and pain inflicted in my immediate family, physical and emotional, and it was like, and I thought at the time, it's like, this is just embedded in me. This is inside me, and I'm not passing this on.
Yeah.
I got that at a really young age. Now, okay, maybe that's all shit, but it really felt there was a major decision that I made, I know, in my teens, where I decided, no, that's it, I'm not bringing this forth anymore. Mm-hmm. And like, I get it's bullshit as far as, do you know what I mean? We get to choose, like really step outside of the box with that and choose, this is what I imagine. Like maybe I actually could have been the change. Do you know what I mean? Something like that.
And you are the change now as well.
Yeah.
You know, whenever anyone around you wants to slip into, I'm a victim because...
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I hear you all the time say, "Oh, look, what if you looked at it differently?"
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to really teach all this at once. You can just tell people, like, what if you looked at that differently?
Yeah. So that's an ace question. I love that. Thank you, Tony Mac.
Tony Mac does not get the Dumb Question of the Day award.
Doesn't what?
Tony Mac does not get the Dumb Question of the Day award.
No, not the dumb one.
That's right.
Okay. The next question is from Marty on the Free Neville Goddard email list. Is that right?
That is the rightness. Marty got the email today, and Marty wrote back.
Did. So sign up for the free Neville.
Yeah, by the way, you guys that are watching this that don't get the daily email, easymanifestingmethods.com. Go there, it'll take you to the new website. Sign up.
Yeah.
You'll get the 7 lessons in the daily email.
And then you'll get forever the other email.
Until one of us dies. Or you say go away.
You used to say that all the time.
I used to say that all the time,
until one of us dies. Yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
I took a guy off it the other
and Marty, Neville Goddard's Oahu lesson.
Oahu.
And Neville asks, Marty asks, would you tell us how to change our thoughts when money gets slow?
All right, so I'm going to have Victoria read the little quote that this is based on, because the guy had a restaurant in Oahu. The money would start to get slow. He'd change his thinking. But I want to go into how he did that. Because if you try to do it one way, it just is an endless war. Michael, Michelle. Oh, fuck. It's too tiny. I'm sorry. Hi.
I think Michelle.
It could be Michelle.
Possibly.
All right. Patty, welcome. All right. So, if you'd read the quote, I'd appreciate that, Victoria.
Okay, so then Neville says, when things were beginning to go slow, he would remember the law. He remembered that the negative things which were happening were caused by his thoughts, so he changed them. And now has this wonderful opportunity for expansion.
So one of the things that I notice is people try to change their thoughts directly to the opposite. Right. I find that to be very, very warlike and exhausting, and I get a lot of emails about this. So I'm gonna talk about business for a section, right? So there's the function of business and the purpose of business. The function of business is to create wealth, to make money. So when somebody tells me they're going into business, and so if I'm doing a one-on-one call to someone and they're doing the business stuff, and I'll say like, radio. So what I do is I grow little pot plants. I sell them for $5 a piece, and I want to make $2 million a year. And it's like, that's a lot of pot plants, right? And that could be like asparagus, right? Like as in a potted plant, right? Words have more than one meaning, people. So, meanwhile, the function of business is to make money. What I suggest you don't, the function of business is taken care of with the rational mind. So if we start running numbers and experimenting with stuff like that, we can help someone develop a more comprehensive business structure. That's one thing which I'm very good at. On the other side of the coin, there's the purpose of business. Okay, if the function of business is to make money, the purpose of business is, what's the name of that place with the prawns? They've been open 17 years. They've changed the menu every 2 weeks, but they've had the prawns on the menu for 17 years. Mercer's, right around the corner, right?
Yeah, we love that restaurant.
And they've had the prawns on the menu since day one.
Yes.
Right? Everything else on the menu changes every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
The prawns have been on there forever.
Yeah.
Right? Now, here's the kind of thing that I imagine, because we go to a restaurant like that, and what I do is I ask to talk to the chef or the owner.
Yes.
Every time. Right? This is no bullshit. Most people
to be the same person.
Most people just bitch to the waiter or the waitress. It's like, it's not the serving wench's fault. That'll offend somebody, won't it? There she goes. I can't believe you said that. Right?
It's like when he talks about the help.
Yes, it's not the help's fault. It's not the help's fault, right? Now here's the thing, right? So I say, hey, is there any chance? I just need 60 seconds to talk to the chef or the owner, please. And they come out, and I just tell them, look, this is absolutely amazing. And then they tell us all kind of things. Oh, when you make the prawns, you do this. Finding out the secrets, right?
Yeah.
But the purpose of business is that. Because I go to the pool, and I tell people, the prawns have been on the menu for 17 years. Everything else changes every 2 weeks. The prawns have been there for 17 years.
It's his signature.
It's his signature thing, darkery, right? And so what happens is, so when I imagine up for business, right, I imagine up replies and referrals. You guys sending me your updates, your replies. 20, I just love Manifesting Mastery course. I'm on day 17. I know I should be waiting to day 21, but I had to tell you this. Right? This is the kind of thing that I imagine up, the impact it has on you. And then I imagine someone like Damien, right? So Damien shows up because somebody referred him to the course. 20, I'm here because somebody referred me to the course. My buddy took it, really loved it, and said, you got to take this, or else I'm not talking to you anymore. See, so I imagine up that kind of stuff. So the purpose of business. So when it comes to the Oahu thing, right? If the guy could stare at the financial statements and try to see them change. That's often a struggle, and it's often weird. On the other hand, if he's imagining clients and customers, like, having such a great time, we're going to be back Tuesday, I'm bringing my family with me, so on and so forth, that's the purpose of business. The purpose is where the pleasure shows up. And so it changes the quality of the experience. So when it comes to this whole Oahu thing, I don't know what the guy actually imagined. But when I play with this, what I notice is trying to imagine numbers drives you nuts. Right? To me, it's a middle, and it makes you go mental. On the other hand, if I imagine up the purpose, what's the purpose? The purpose is impact, transformation, change. And when I see a post like we've had a couple show up in Remarkable recently, which people are just sharing how much the course means to them, what the people mean to them, how their lives have changed, that means heaps to me. That's what I imagine up. So, cool. Marty, let that help you. Just remember, there's the function of business, which is money, and a lot of people go to war because they go mental around money. But there's the purpose. What's the purpose? How can I imagine the purpose explosively enhanced? Ego says numbers drove me nuts, don't they?
Reminds me of your philosophy and technology.
Yes, it does. We continue to answer later questions as well.
Yeah.
Reveal what we answered.
And function.
Yes.
Compared to philosophy and technology.
Yeah, he's a pretty fart smeller, that guy. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's right. And he really does respect the serving wenches, too. Right?
And the help. Yes.
Michelle, I'm going to toss this one in.
Okay.
Can you talk about how Neville didn't want anything to do with the political environment of his day? Sure. Neville, so pearlpowerpack.com. You got to go read that, right? pearlpowerpack.com. Ready? So we were on lockdown here, and then we were on extended lockdown because neither one of us got the jabs, just not our gig.
Yeah.
Right? And so, long story short, Dictator Dan said, you're not allowed to get your hair cut, your nails done, you can't exercise, you have to basically stay home and rot until I let you out.
Oh, I know.
And it's like, radio.
Was it nearly a dozen lockdowns or something?
Oh, yeah, but we were kept in extended lockdown for another 9 months, right?
Yeah.
Because we failed to comply.
Yeah, we did.
They said it's voluntary, but so is getting your nails done, your hair done.
Imagine 20 being rebels.
Yeah, imagine that. So here's what's really, really cool. So they decided they were going to do this thing called a vote. And personally, I am not a fan of voting in any country in any way. I just don't give a shit. And the reason I don't give a shit is because I know the one cause. So will I vote? Yes. Yeah, because it's required. Yeah, and the whole pearlpowerpack.com gives you some insight into my experience with all this stuff. But when you buy the Pearl, this whole thing of getting all involved with the political, it matters who's president, who's not president. You know what? It swings back and forth every couple of years. Everyone writes laws so the other party looks bad. It's all bullshit. On the other hand, when you start imagining lovingly for you and those around you, and you get the Pearl of great price, there's no need for it. So there's my semi-discombobulated story, but definitely check out the story at pearlpowerpack.com. It goes into some detail there.
Cool. Excellent. So now, sorry, I've just got to find. So, thank you very much. Oh, Michelle, that was from, that's right, because we moved on from Marty.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, Michelle, for your question.
Yes.
The next question is actually from what? What says 20? It's from me, Victoria. Furnaces of Affliction.
Oh, she's inserting her own question. Unbelievable. What a show.
So, and Victoria asks, so I was remembering.
I'm going to hand you this because I got a cramp.
Oh, he's got a cramp. So will you be all right if I... Okay.
Yeah, just got to wiggle for a second.
All right.
Oh, look at this.
So I remember...
Whiskey.
how whiskey.
Yeah. So
Oh,
you're gonna
sorry.
hold the phone.
Okay. So I was just thinking, remembering back on our lives so far together, because we've been together a long time now.
Yeah, that's right.
We met in 2010
Feels like forever.
and had a lovely year together.
That's
like,
right.
well, sort of. Like you had to leave the country every 3 months. Sometimes I came with you, but and then you had to go home. And I remember when you had to go back to America to then come back, yeah? Well, before you came back, then I decided I'd come over and see you in the States. But I do remember there was a lot of... So I'm calling it the furnaces of affliction for a reason. Before I went, I started hearing lots of different people saying things. It was like... and it was really myself, I guess, judging, not just judging, but like, is this really what you know, he's from America, it's the other side of the world, like really, and just, you know, I don't know, I started feeling like I was questioning everything about our relationship and whether it's really possible for us to be together, because it felt like the odds were definitely stacked against us.
Yeah, radio.
And the more I thought that, these odds, so much was just like bang, bang, and I'd hear what people were saying, and I'd make them mean different things, and then it just felt like there was a fight with money, a fight with not with you, but it was a fight, like having enough money for me, even just to come and see you. Do you know what I mean? And pay the mortgage. It was awful time, and it really felt like I was in. And I know for both of us, after I'd been to see you, it was like our darkest hour, personally as well as together. Do you know what I mean? Like it was really hard on us. So I asked you this morning about what did he mean by the furnaces of affliction, and I think you gave the perfect response, because it was like, I really get that is where I was, how I was, and it just felt like everything became interpreted in that way instead of letting my imagination roll on what I really wanted. So I know how I found it hard, and I can't believe how hard it must have been for you. So I'd just love to get your take on all of that.
Cool. So we give ourselves the furnaces of affliction so we can rise to the next level of who we
right,
are.
You said that.
And so...
That's right. Sorry, just before you keep going, because when you said that, even like before the show, when I asked, I said, I really get that, because it's like I was so stuck in the humdrum. I was doing everything to be good in other people's eyes. Do you know what I mean? And it felt really, when I think about it, my whole life was conditioned by what other people thought and said, and.
Yep.
And I really I allowed that just be my life.
Yep.
And yeah.
It's coming home. We put all these bits out there. So I developed a cool little 3-question structure that I'm using a lot with coaching people right now. And the second question goes something like, and so why haven't you been able to do it? What's in your way? And that's where the fun begins, because so we give ourselves these furnaces of affliction as though we're being cursed.
That's what it felt like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we give ourselves these furnaces of affliction, and it's this whole thing of, I love the quote, and I've got some really neat ways I'm exploring this. What man meant for evil, God intended for good. And so when it's like all these doubts and what the news says, and family and neighbors and history, and well, we got to look at our ages, and like, oh my God, like it's like all this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
That's you coming home going, you know what? I'm not going to let a number dictate my happiness. I'm not going to let my mother dictate my happiness. And even when all that was going on, during my first year here, and even on the last temporary return, there was all these articles that would pop up in the news and so on. It's like they're revamping immigration and they're making it tougher. Yeah. And it's like, we're going to keep out the scumbags, the riffraffs. And it's like, I'm a spiritual teacher, internet marketer. I'm a scumbag riffraff. I mean, like, there's no list for people like me. If you're a carpenter, you're a good guy. You're a skilled laborer. We want you in Australia.
Or a doctor.
If you're an internet marketer, spiritual teacher, you don't fall on the list, right?
Yeah.
So like radio, right? So it's an interesting thing when you get any place where there seems to be an external bit in charge. When you bring it home, that feels like a furnace of affliction. It feels like a curse. And what you're doing is you're actually removing that. So in the process of all that, in the process of you going, I want this. This is what I choose to have and be in my life. God, cramp. Yeah, your choice to bring your responsibility home. And this is a really powerful distinction. It's not about bringing your power back. That's total fucking bullshit. You're the power, you're the operant power. When you deny you're the power and the operant power, you lose your responsibility. So you brought your responsibility home to be able to say to other people, nah. To say to yourself, no, I'm not going to do that again. This is bullshit. Just because some shit happened in the past doesn't mean it's going to happen with him. That kind of thing.
That's amazing, actually, because that's exactly like the last time you finally came back, because there's been so many trips backwards and forwards. But remember, they held you up at the airport?
For 3 fucking hours, I was in the box.
And because of his history being held hostage, you can imagine. Anyway.
Oh, yeah. Step into a metal box, sir.
Yeah.
Right, yo.
And let me interrogate you.
Yeah, we're going to interrogate you.
And
all right,
this
is going to be a
finally,
gas.
the interrogator, I didn't know what had happened to you. I'm trying to text you. You're not answering. And then finally, and that's exactly what happened. It was that moment, because I remember he rang me and said something about
he's in the box.
What's your intention? Or it was something like that. And I can't remember, because they was basically threatening to send you back to America, right? Without even
absolutely.
coming here.
Yep.
And it was just like, I just said, you know what? If you don't, we're going to get married. If you don't let him come here, I guess I've got to leave country and go there to get married. And it just felt like that was close. That was slamming the door. It really felt like that was the Abdullah part for me. It was just like, no, had enough of this. And they let you out.
They let me out.
So it was really good.
Yeah, we've never shared those details before.
We haven't shared those details before, but
Yep.
I just thought, I hope it's all right with you that we did.
Yeah, totally.
Because they're shared. Okay.
Well, it's funny. I got an email this past week from somebody that wanted to know some of the "you imagining us together" bits. So this will help answer their question too.
Yeah, good one.
Cool, nice.
Yeah, because I remember that very much as a slam the door moment.
Bad cramp.
And we've got one last question. Can I help at all?
Nope.
No, okay. One last question from our very favourite Lisa, remarkable Lisa.
Remarkable Lisa.
The inseparable twins.
That is the rightness.
And Lisa asks, hello, 20 in Victoria.
Yo, Lisa.
There seems to be a revival of sorts happening in the Law of Attraction group. People are awakening to the love which they are. Please chat to us about how. Your faith in God is measured by your confidence in yourself and opening to the love we are. Thank you, Lisa.
Wow, does this tie them all together or what?
Yeah.
Cool. So your faith in God is not measured by... I love affirmations. Affirmations are what do things. Or I love rocks. Rocks are what do things. Your faith in God is measured by your confidence in you. And what you are is love. Neville Goddard says, you are the wisdom, you are the power, you are the love of God. That's in separate quotes, by the way. So, this is going to be the most blunt thing I've ever said. Somebody hashtag that. Ready? Manifesting is about growing the fuck up.
That's the hashtag.
Yep.
Manifesting is about growing the fuck up.
Yep, that's it. Because as a child, you believe that the rock makes it happen. Right? As a child, you made me mad. Yeah, your fault. Right? As a child, we've got a lot of bullshit going on. And if you honestly start accepting the power of that you are, the truth that you are, yeah, this is part of what Dream Driven Day has been about for the past 3 years, helping people grow the fuck up. Because when you grow the fuck up, you know, a kindergartner that needs structure. You know, this time for this, that time for that. This is when we eat the grapes. This is when we take a nap. You know, you'll notice how many ways in Dream Driven Day we fuck with structure. We invite you to reject your routines. There's a reason for that, because we want you to discover that you are response able. Because what is love able to do? Respond. All the shit in her head would have kept us together and got me kicked out of the country before I got in.
Yeah.
Her leaving that behind opens the door. And this is the really, really cool shit, because when people tell me about their struggles and they're worshiping their struggles, it's, you know, you're scanning for sameness. You're just there's a childish thing showing up. And this whole thing of really realizing, like love is not, oh, are you going to give me a present? She must love me because she's going to give me a present. She's going to give me that present. All right. She must love me.
Yeah, right.
You got it? Versus, how do I know she loves me? You can't prove love. You can discover it, you can explore it, you can live from it, but you can't prove it. And when you really get this stuff, there's some words that I'm not a fan of, like prove to yourself this works. It works, right? Trying to prove it, well, I'm going to manifest $1 million by Friday. That'll prove to me that it works. Now, that's called being a child.
Yeah.
On the other hand, when you honestly start going, you know what, what's the loving thing that I can give life to here? Everything changes. And then you just notice the truth about you that sets you free. So, I guess that's about it for me. Cool. It is cold out here today.
Yeah, you're cold and you're cramping. So what we're going to do is thank you, Lisa, for your question. Thank you, 20, for all your answers. What we want to know is right now, tell us, what was your hashtag strawberry bit?
That's right.
Well, my strawberry bit was just amazing how they all flowed into each other. So I just love today's show, and I'll try and get a question for you for next week.
Cool. Super side note.
Yes.
Right? Conversations and connections. We're doing some big revamping next year with a live call club, something with Remarkable, so on and so forth. If you get gold from a show like this, you get this is a conversation shared with a conversation. It's the people that join us in the live calls over time. You guys are the ones that, from what I can tell, get the most from this. You know, trying to do it all on your own, trying to just gather more stuff. We put out some damn good products and so on. I strongly suggest them. But a big shift that we're going into in the next year has to do with more stuff with live groups. So stay tuned for that. But this is, to me, is a really prime example of this whole way that the call flowed.
Yeah.
So
yeah, really lovely, babe.
Cool.
Excellent. So while you type in your hashtag strawberry bits, go to easymanifestingmethods.com. We mentioned that a few times.
Go there, do that, sign up. If you don't, definitely. And more on that later.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And for refunds, neville.store.com for a few of those things we mentioned today, statestacking.com.
If you don't have state stacking, get state stacking. Seriously, you don't want to be waiting on that one.
Yeah. And for refunds, visit our YouTube channel, feelitrealfun.com.
All right.
And we're going to go right now because 20's cramping up bad.
Yep, got a cramp. Love you guys. Have a lovely day.